Microsoft hasn't always had the best reputation when it comes to, developers and their past and things like that. A lot of people still hold some of the things that they've done, in the past against what they've done. Like you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the ability to, put out a game or whatever, a lot of people will still correlate the Microsoft of this year with the Microsoft of 15 years ago. I'm the first one to admit Microsoft really mishandled a lot of things, including the closure of Lionhead Studios, and the fact that they were only after games that could be, as big as Halo and Gears and Forza, and if they came out with something and it wasn't that big, all of a sudden, it never got another chance, unfortunately. So, it's one of those things that as a fan you kind of lamented a little bit, because there's so many games out there that I would have loved to have seen. Had they had a different outlook, maybe we would have saw Sunset Overdrive 2 or a Recore 2. They could have been much, much better than the first. A Rise 2. I know those aren't Microsoft owned, but they did have the publishing rights. Same thing with like an Alan Wake 2. It's just unfortunate that we didn't get a lot of that stuff when we could have. And I do hope that we see some big things from Microsoft in the future, now that not everything's dependent on getting 20 million in sales. Game Pass is a different beast, a different monster, and hopefully we can continue to see Microsoft get some pretty big news and announcements thanks to that. You know what I mean? I think that it's a huge difference, and it's nice to see that. So taking chances on things is going to be huge in the future. And so I want to get into this because this announcement really goes against the stereotype that people have about Xbox. What's up, everybody? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of the videos that I do. I know it's a very small goal, but it's a goal that I'm looking to get nonetheless. So I would just be very appreciative of that, and it would mean a lot to me. With that being said, thank you guys again. Merry Christmas, all that kind of stuff. This is something that I find to be very interesting because it comes from an interesting place. So Hideo Kojima, he's making an exclusive for Xbox, and we know that, but he's actually speaking out about it again. His Xbox game was ultimately Microsoft that showed that they actually understood. Other tech companies thought Kojima's idea was mad, but Microsoft understood his vision. Microsoft and Kojima Productions announced a partnership earlier the year to create a new Xbox game. The title will use Microsoft's cloud technology to deliver a never-before-seen concept, and Hideo Kojima, the founder of Kojima Productions, recently discussed it in an interview. Microsoft announced a partnership back in June of 2022. The result of that partnership will use Microsoft's cutting-edge cloud technology to push a never-before-seen concept. Now we have more details about why Microsoft was the big tech company that actually backed Kojima Productions, and it's pretty interesting to kind of go over. Again, I think, Kojima does some interesting stuff, whether you like the guy or not. Metal Gear being one of my favorites, but he, a revered video game director and founder of Kojima Productions, recently sat down with IGN to discuss the next phase for his game. IGN's piece provides deep insight into both Kojima, the game director, and Kojima Productions. It's a comprehensive interview covering everything from the launch of Metal Gear Solid 2 in the immediate aftermath of 9/11 to Kojima's upcoming cloud project, which again a lot of people are talking about. I mean, I'm going into it with an open mind. As long as it's not something that's only played in the cloud, I think it's something worth paying attention to. So he said, the project we're working on with Microsoft is one I've been thinking about for 5 or 6 years already. The project required infrastructure that was never needed before. So I discussed it with a lot of different big companies and gave presentations. But they really seemed to think that I was mad. It was ultimately Microsoft who showed that they understood. And now we're working together on the project, including the technology front, according to Kojima. Microsoft's cloud technology appears to be the key to Kojima's upcoming project. The director explained that the important aspect back when the partnership with Microsoft was first announced. With Microsoft's cutting-edge cloud technology and the change in the industry's trend, it has now become possible to challenge myself to make this never-before-seen concept. It may take some time, but I'm looking forward to teaming up with Xbox Game Studios and hope to bring you some exciting news in the future. So in this interview with IGN, Kojima talked about how technology evolves over time, allowing himself to find new ways to create games and stave off boredom. at this point, details of the actual project are scarce, but we now have a glimpse of why and what he's actually doing. So I think that's pretty cool. Like, I'm not, I'm hoping anyway that this is something that is, like, you can make a game through the cloud. I'm hoping it's more along the lines of that than, having to play the whole thing through the cloud, because I think that pretty much eliminates me from being able to play it. But again, what people need to kind of understand is why this is big for Microsoft, taking this type of chance and taking this type of risk, that this game, regardless of what it is probably not going to be some huge hit. And it doesn't have to be. You have Game Pass, you have these different things that realistically make the game, worthwhile. So we'll see how everybody kind of fares with this. Like I said, for me personally, I'm interested to see what he's cooked up and what Microsoft is going to be doing with it. Like I said, I think it really kind of comes down to, is Microsoft going to be able to get the most out of their partnership with Kojima, but it shows a starkly different, kind of contrasting view of what Microsoft used to be back in the day, because they would have probably never taken a chance on this ever, and that's just factual, and it's not that Microsoft was bad, it's just that they were kind of stuck in their ways and only wanted to kind of do things a certain way. And if it wasn't going to like sell a whole crap ton or whatever, they weren't going to do it. So it is nice to see that they go out there and they try to make this the most that it can possibly be. And, who knows what it'll be. Is it going to be good? Listen, I don't really know. I think it could be good. It could be weird. It could be any number of things. And it really just kind of comes down to how Microsoft handles it and how they go about their sort of business with this, because I do think that, I think that it could be a good idea. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'm one of those kind of wait and see people. I wonder what it could be. I'm interested in it. It could be so crazy that nobody likes it. You know what I mean? Like no traditional gamer likes it or whatever. It could be something that you have to play in the cloud, which, again, I would be kind of screwed. I think that really limits the amount of people that could realistically play the game. But I don't know. Maybe it's like cloud rendering to make the game, and that's what he's trying to do. Who really knows, but we'll see what happens. I'm interested. I'm going into it with an open mind, and hopefully it's just another great Game Pass game that can kind of change the fortunes over there. So with that being said, please let me know what you guys think. I would so much appreciate it. I'm going to link this in the description. You guys can read it, rack them up, fact them up, Crap Gamer them up. Thank you so much for watching. I certainly appreciate it. Crap Gamer out.